1418. Incredible us.
Hi, I'm Sukanya Bhagi for 1418, India's first exclusive platform for 14 to 18 years old. I'm a psychologist by profession. I make content and curriculum. Today, I'll be talking to you about peer pressure. Peer pressure is an uncomfortable, upsetting, and unwanted situation that happens when people who are important to us, usually our friends or our peers, they force us to do something that we don't want to do. And as a result of it, we feel upset, we feel uncomfortable, and we simply don't feel good about such situations. It could be anything like bunking a class or lying to our parents, trying something new that our friends ask us to do, but we don't want to do it. Now, you must have noticed that a lot of times people use different ways to persuade us. But when it comes to peer pressure situations, there are a lot of common sentences that our friends use to force us to do something. I want you to take a minute, think about it. How many times have you heard sentences like, hey, it's okay, don't worry, no one would ever know about it. Come on, it's just one time. Trust me, I have done that and it's okay, it doesn't matter. Hey, if you want to be a part of our group, you have to do it. Relatable enough, right? I have been there too. I have also faced peer pressure in my growing up years. And that is why I can perfectly understand how it feels. It is something that makes us feel very uncomfortable and very upset. And also I understand it is a lot of pressure. Honestly, it is a lot of pressure. In fact, it becomes more difficult when our friends, our relatives, people who care for us or XYZ people in our life, they tell us, hey, why don't you just say no to peer pressure? If you know something is bad for you, and you may also think about that, if something is bad for me, why can't I just say no to that thing? Or why can't I just say no to peer pressure? Well, that is because our friends are very important to us. And psychologically speaking, if something is important to us, we can't just simply say no to it. Why? Because we don't want our friends to hate us. We don't want to be left alone. We don't want our friends to judge us. So as a result of it, we often give in to peer pressure. Now, that doesn't mean that there are no ways to deal with peer pressure, because there are a lot of good ways to deal with peer pressure. Talking about the first way, we have to know about what kind of friends do we even have in our life, and why are these people our friends. So is somebody our friend because they look cool to us, or because they sit right next to us in class, or because we go in the same school bus, or because they look attractive? Is that the reason why somebody is your friend? Or somebody is your friend because they genuinely stand by you, they genuinely support you in difficult times, or they genuinely feel for you, they are empathetic towards you. So we need to understand that people who really care for us, who are always there for us, who support us, are the true friends. And these are the kind of people we should be spending our time with. So always be very wise about the people that you choose in your life, because we are what kind of people we surround ourselves with. So always make sure that your friends are the people who do not force you to do something that you are not comfortable with, and most importantly, they understand you. Second way is give excuses. Trust me guys, that works well, and I have also used it in my growing up years when I was in a peer pressure situation. So whenever your friends are forcing you to do something that you don't want to do, give them certain excuses. So for example, say your friend is saying, hey, why don't you sneak out of house tonight? Give them a valid excuse. Say stuff like, I'm sleeping with my sister tonight, so it's not possible. Or I have a family dinner planned at night, I have a family movie night. Say whatever you want to do, but just give them an excuse so that the next time they come up to you and they tell you to do a certain thing, they know that you will have a valid excuse ready, and probably they'll just stop doing it. So it really works. Always be ready with an excuse for people who force you to do something that you don't want to do. Now, the third way is positive peer pressure. Yes, guys, there is something also known as positive peer pressure. So what happens is when we force somebody to do something which is uncomfortable, unhealthy, it is called negative peer pressure. But when we ask somebody, when we encourage somebody to go off their limits and try something which is healthy, which helps them to grow, which helps them in their life, or which is positive for them, it's called positive peer pressure. So when your friend comes up to you and asks you to go for that party which your parents probably said no for, or something that you are not comfortable with, or you know that there is some harm in the party, give them positive peer pressure. Also save them from going to that unhealthy or uncomfortable situation. So ask them to come to your place. Maybe invite them for playing a match, or maybe tell them that you'll watch movies together, or tell them that you'll catch up and you'll talk about all those things that you could not do in past few days because of busy schedule. So always give positive peer pressure, because it will save you as well as the people, your friends that you care for, from doing something which might harm them in present or in future. The next strategy is gut feeling. So guys, what happens is when we are doing something which is not good, which we know is negative, or which we are not comfortable with, we have a feeling from inside. We know there is a voice that tells us, hey, what you're doing is not correct. In fact, I'll want to tell you a situation that happened with me long back. So when I was in my growing up years, my friends asked me to bunk school for a day. And honestly, I was so scared, I was so anxious that I forgot to wear socks in the morning for school, because I knew that I have to bunk the school and it was already there in my mind. So I forgot to wear socks, and I know that is really stupid, but that happened with me. Now, that is what your gut feeling does. It always gives you some signs, some symbols that, hey, what you're doing is not correct. And mostly when you have this feeling that what you're doing is not correct, it probably is not correct for you. So always listen to that gut feeling which comes from within, which tells you to either do a thing or not. The next is always seek help from supportive adults. So we all have certain people in our life that we trust, who are always there for us. It could be our parents, grandparents, our siblings, probably a trustworthy neighbor, our counselors, anybody in our life who we can trust and who we can reach out for support and advice. So always reach out to your trusted adults for advice when you are in a peer pressure situation, when you don't know how to handle the situation, because these are the people who will best guide you to what to do in next steps. Also, feel free to reach out to counselors, to any other person who you feel could give you a valid advice, somebody who has already been through those growing up years, because these people are trustworthy. They'll always stand by you and they'll always help you out. Now guys, another thing that I want to talk to you about is a lot of people of your age group come to me and ask me a question, which is, why do we even give into peer pressure when we know that this is something that makes us feel sad and uncomfortable? And if you also have that question in your mind, I'll take this time to answer your question, that we give into peer pressure because we are scared to be alone. We don't want to be alone. We are very scared of being alone because we associate being alone with that we don't have a life, we don't have a social life, or we don't have friends, or people will judge us. But in reality, being alone doesn't have to be a scary feeling. In fact, being alone is an amazing opportunity for you to rejuvenate, to think about yourself, to decide about things that you like doing, to find out things that you don't like doing, and in fact spend a lot of time with yourself, reflecting, and also spend a lot of time thinking about how you want your life to be, what kind of friends do you want in your life. So overall, being alone is a good time. You can use it for your advantage. You can do things that you value, that you feel are important for you. So stop being scared to be alone. Also, always remember that you are a leader. You have the potential to lead people, and if today you take a step against peer pressure, you will inspire, influence a lot of other people of your age group who are not able to take that step. So always remember that about yourself. Don't be scared to be alone. Reach out to trusted adults, take help from counselors, talk to people that you value, that you think would help you out. And most importantly, never give into peer pressure. I really hope that next time you are in a peer pressure situation, you know what to do and you make me proud. Just kidding. You don't have to make me proud, but always stand up for yourself. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share to 1418. And I'll see you very soon next time with another important video. Bye.
1418. Incredible us.